ජීවිතේ වැඩිපුර ලැබෙන හොඳම දේවල් විඳින්න. දැන් SLT broadband වෙතින් 75% දක්වා වැඩිපුර data සතුට ජනවාරි 1 වෙනිදා සිට ශ්‍රී ලංකා ටෙලිකොම්.
Making history. Political newbies Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna in a resounding win in the local authorities election. What could it be? Sudden meeting between President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The President also meets SLFP MPs of the government, while the Prime Minister meets UNP MPs. Respecting the results, party leaders who represent the joint opposition say both the President and the Prime Minister should step down. Through the eyes of the monitors, election observation organisations speak on the election results. Catastrophe. Russian jet crashes with 71 on board. Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhammika Ekanaika. Now, there could only be one possible lead story, and that's the local authorities election 2018. Let's dive into our election segment. Now, the newly formed Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna recorded a resounding victory in the local authorities election 2018. The results released thus far indicate that the SLPP has won 225 local authorities.
The polls opened in the 2018 local authorities elections yesterday at 7 a.m. and came to a close at 4 in the evening. This year's local authorities election was a new experience for Sri Lankan voters, as it is a hybrid system consisting of both proportional representation and first-past-the-post systems. The preferential voting system, which was implemented through the 1978 Constitution, was nullified and votes were cast for political parties as well as independent groups instead of voting for individual politicians. 43 accepted political parties and 222 independent groups contested in 340 local authorities at this election. 8,352 members were officially elected from 57,252 hopeful candidates. 15,760,867 voters were eligible to cast their votes ahead of yesterday's election. Meanwhile, votes were not counted on district basis this time around. Instead, votes of several electorates were accumulated and counted simultaneously at a chosen polling centre. Thereafter, the results and the number of members that were elected were certified by the Election Commission.
Let's now take a look at how the political parties fared across all 24 electoral districts.
Colombo district comprises of 13 local bodies. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was able to secure wins in 10 local bodies, including 3 of the municipal councils. UNP only secured the 3 local authorities of Colombo Municipal Council, Kolonnawa Urban Council and Dehiwala Mount Lavinia Municipal Council. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna also secured the majority of local authorities in Gampa district by clinching 17 bodies out of 19. UNP secured the rest of the 2 local bodies of the Wattala Mabola Urban Council and the Negombo Municipal Council. Kaluthara district consists of 17 local bodies and Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna clinched victory in 13 of them. UNP wins came in 3 of the local bodies, while an independent group claimed the win in the Beruwala Urban Council. The district of Kandy comprises of 22 local bodies. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured wins in 17 of them, while UNP clinched wins in the rest of the 5 local bodies, including the Kandy Municipal Council. Martale district consists of 13 local bodies, and Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured wins in 12 of them. UNP, however, clinched victory in the Martale Municipal Council. Meanwhile, Ceylon Workers' Congress clinched 5 local authorities out of 12 in the Nuwara district. UNP secured wins in 4 local bodies in the district, including the Nuwara Municipal Council. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, meanwhile, won the Talawakale Lindula Urban Council, Hingurakkada Pradesha Sabha and Walapane Pradesha Sabha. The district of Gaul consists of 20 local bodies, of which Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured wins in 19 of them. The UNP clinched the remaining authority by winning the Municipal Council of Gaul. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna also secured wins in 16 local bodies out of the 17 in Mathura district. UNP only secured the Valigama Urban Council in the district. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna clinched victory in 11 out of 12 local bodies in the Hambantota district, while UNP won the Hambantota Municipal Council. Ilankai Tamil Arasu Katchi secured the majority wins in the district of Jaffna by clinching 12 of the 17 local bodies in the district. Ahila Ilankai Tamil Congress secured 2 local bodies, while Elam People's Democratic Party also won 2 authorities. Ilankai Tamil Arasu Katchi secured wins in all 3 local bodies in the Kilinochchi district. Meanwhile, the UNP clinched victory in 4 local bodies in the Mana district. Ilankai Tamil Arasu Katchi holds a majority in Vavuniya by securing wins in 3 local bodies out of 5. Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna secured victory in Vavuniya, South Sinhala Pradesha Sabha, while the Sri Lanka Freedom Party won 1 local body in the district. Ilankai Tamil Arasu Katchi won 3 out of 5 local authorities in the Mullaitivu district. Ilankai Tamil Arasu Katchi also received the highest number of votes in all 12 local authorities in the Batticaloa district. The Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna led claim to the highest number of votes to win 7 out of 20 local authorities in the Ampara district, while the United National Party claimed 3 local bodies. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna also laid claim to the highest number of members in 5 out of 13 local authorities in the Trincomalee district. Kurunegala district comprises of 21 local bodies, which includes a municipal council, an urban council and 19 Pradesha Sabhas. Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna emerged victorious in 20 of the said number local authorities, while the United National Party could only secure a win at the Kuliyapiti Urban Council. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna won all 12 local authorities in the Puttalam district. The Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna was also able to obtain the highest number of votes in 18 of the 19 local authorities in the Anuradhapura district. However, independent group Eksat Lanka Mahasabha Party, who contested under the symbol of the serpent, obtained the highest number of members in the Thirappane Pradesha Sabha. The Polonnaru district comprises of 8 local authorities, and the Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party clinched 4 local authorities each. However, the SLPP obtained the highest number of votes in the district with 5,129 votes. The Badula district comprises of 18 local bodies. Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna emerged victorious in 8 of the local authorities in the district. The United National Party secured the Badula Municipal Council along with 6 other local bodies. Meanwhile, the United People's Freedom Alliance claimed 3 local authorities, while an independent party obtained the highest number of votes in the Mahayangana Pradesha Sabha. In the Monragala district, the Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna secured victory in all 10 local authorities in the district. The Ratnapura district comprises of 17 local authorities, and the Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna made a clean sweep of all the local bodies in the district. The same happened in the Kegalle district, with the Sri Lanka Pulajana Peramuna claiming all 12 local authorities.
Now, the latest results place the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, who are political newbies, by the way, at the helm with victories in 225 local authorities. Meanwhile, the United National Party emerged victorious in 37 local authorities. Results released thus far hand Ilankai Tamil Arasu Katchi victories in 28 local authorities. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party received a majority of 7 authorities, while the United People's Freedom Alliance, led by the SLFP, was able to emerge victorious in 2 local authorities, namely the Badula Municipal Council and Haputale Urban Council. The Ceylon Workers' Congress was able to receive a majority in 5 local government bodies. Furthermore, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress was able to emerge victorious in 3 local authorities. Now, in the meantime, various political parties and individuals expressed their views on the results of the local authorities election.
If this government respects the basics of democracy, Sirisena and Wickramasinghe government should give up power. If anyone, including the President, Prime Minister or Ministers of the government, think that they can be in their positions even after these results, please leave the stage without being mocked and hand over the country to those who seek to govern it. The cost of the United National Party's election campaign exceed 1 billion rupees. The 67-year-old Sri Lanka Freedom Party has led in an unfortunate situation. Those who are responsible for this are accused as criminals through this election.
At this moment, I wish to thank all the professionals as well as the academics who have come forward to assist in this great victory, which is a great victory for the people. But at the same time, we do hope that this would be also made a platform to bring the people who have committed these terrible frauds in the bond scam to book.
We got the good opportunity. We had increased our vote base and the members also. As we expected, it is not enough. But I want to say that JVP has improved our grassroots level base, especially against the corruption. We had a long struggle. It's not yet completed. We think altogether people have to get the responsibility also with their vote. Even one member, they will do their best for the country. As a individual party, one party, all island, we had a good fight this local election. We are the only party contested individually without any coalition, any alliance. I am very thankful to all people who supported us in.
In the meantime, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, issuing a statement to media, urged all those who celebrate the party's victory to do so peacefully.
In his statement, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa said that preliminary reports indicate a historic victory for the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna at the local authorities election. He also requested all those who contested under the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna to celebrate the hard-won victory peacefully and with restraint and in a manner that will not inconvenience the defeated. Meanwhile, he also expressed his views last evening following an event held in Colombo.
I congratulate all the candidates who represented Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna and all the independent groups who supported us. I would also like to thank everyone who supported us. I request all the winners to not harass the candidates and supporters who lost, because that is our duty as well as the responsibility. My belief is that no matter what they do to us, we should be exemplary.
In a post-election analysis, Executive Director of the Centre for Monitoring Elections Violence, Dr. Pakisoti Saravanmuthu, states that the victory of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna is a stinging rebuke towards the National Unity Government. Speaking to First at 9, he further said that the main issue is whether the government can continue as it is or should changes be made.
The issue now is as to whether the current composition of government can continue with any effectiveness and credibility, or as to whether there should be drastic changes with regard to its composition. The issue is also, with regard to political parties, as to whether there should be a drastic shake-up in terms of its top leadership. I think the overall importance of this election is a kind of populist backlash against the establishment, because even in the north, one sees that parties other than the TNA have made some inroads. What is most important, I think, into the future is as to what the policies of the victors of this election are, were they to be translated into positions of power and authority at the national level. What happens with regard to accountability? Accountability both in terms of corruption as well as accountability in terms of human rights violations. What about reconciliation? And what, indeed, about constitutional reform?
In the meantime, Executive Director of PAFRL, Rohana Hettiarachchi, states that the pre-election period and the day of the election was peaceful. He also requests that a peaceful environment be maintained during the post-election period, as it will pave the way for a new political culture in the country.
After the election, we have reported around 22 cases. There are 7 cases reported as assaulting cases, assaulted, and they were admitted to the hospital. Madirigiri 3 houses also were attacked by the winning candidate supporters in Madirigiri area. We as an election monitoring organization, we wish to urge all the political parties and especially the winning candidate, you can celebrate your victory but without harming the other political party candidate or their supporters. And also you should not call for any meeting during next 1 week's period, or we have reported so many rallies from last night, even today. We request all the politicians to control these situations.
Now, with the conclusion of the polls yesterday, numerous election law violations were reported across the island.
A group attacked the house of former mayor of the Galle Municipal Council, Kalum Senaviratne, this morning, who contested for Galle from Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna at the local authorities election. The former mayor and 2 of his brothers sustained injuries and was admitted to the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital. Police investigations are underway in search of the suspects. 2 candidates of the UNP and SLPP contesting the Madirigiri Pradeshya Sabha from the Ambagamuwa ward along with their supporters clashed yesterday. The candidate of the SLPP claims that UNP parliamentarian Sidney Jayaratne attacked his supporters and relatives. Several family members and a supporter of the SLPP candidate were admitted to the Madirigiri hospital. Parliamentarian Jayaratne, however, refutes allegations of the attack. Meanwhile, a supporter of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna contesting from the Atpitiya ward in Walasmulla has come under an attack by the United National Party candidate of the area. Other Derana correspondent said that the injured person is admitted to the Matara hospital while the suspect absconded. Meanwhile, there was unrest at the polling station set up at the community centre in the area of Malkaduava in Kurunagala as the candidates contesting from the relevant ward and their supporters charged that there had been an irregularity in vote counting.
Ministers and parliamentarians of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party say that the president is hopeful of making a significant change within the government. They were speaking to media following a meeting with the head of state at his official residence this morning.
A discussion was held between President Maithripala Sirisena and SLFP ministers and parliamentarians representing the government this morning. Following the meeting, they responded to questions raised by media.
We see people have voted against the UNP and its process. Therefore, President Maithripala Sirisena said that he would make a change soon. The president will make a change in the country, I mean in the governing process. He will make a change in governance. I can't exactly say what it is. It is up to the president. People have given their decision. We have to think accordingly. The result is against the government. President asked us to tell you, the media, that he is going to make a notable change. You have to ask it from the president. There are some provisions in the constitution for it. In addition to that, we need to have a mutual discussion among parties. What the president said was that he would discuss with the parties and then make a notable change soon. We have to admit that the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna leads the results and the SLFP has shown progress in the northern and eastern provinces. A notable change will take place soon, just after the discussions with the parties.
Now, in the meantime, the other half of the government, the United National Party, says that it bows to the decision made by the people at the local authorities election. The General Secretary of the party, Minister Kabir Hashim, made the acknowledgement through media communique issued this evening.
In the media communique released by the United National Party says that it bows to the decision made by the people at the local authorities election and the results is a warning to the party sounded by the people. The communique further says that the party will commit to fulfill its duties more accurately and rapidly. It goes on to say that this situation is the result of the endless debt brought they inherited from the Rajapaksa regime and frequent natural disasters. However, the communique says that the party pledges to meaningfully fulfill the responsibility vested on the party by the public mandate given during the general election. In the meantime, a sudden meeting was called with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and a group of UNP ministers at Temple Trees this evening. They expressed their views following the discussion.
A group of ministers had a discussion with the Prime Minister today regarding the election results. We are going to inform the country about our new plan through media in a couple of days. Obviously, there should be a change and more things must be done. We will talk to you about it soon.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe met President Maithripala Sirisena at the President's official residence this evening.
You are watching Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Other Derana 24/7.
Welcome back. You're watching First at 9 on Other Derana 24/7. Now, to give you some business news, market analysts expect markets to be positive and expect market turnover to remain strong. Let's now cross over to Amanda Lokugamage from First Capital Holdings for a detailed picture as to how the markets will perform this week.
With political uncertainty likely to wither away following the election held over the weekend, we expect market to have a positive note, which we saw over the last couple of days as well as a pre-indication. And we expect turnover and activity to remain strong with all segments, retail, high net worth and institutional likely to be more active. We expect investors to concentrate on blue chip counters which currently trade at heavy undervaluation. We further expect bargain hunting on counters with strong earnings as earnings season is on.
The volume of industrial production increased by 4.3% in the month of December last year compared to the same month in 2016. Among the manufacturing industries, volume of products of fabricated metal products, manufacture of rubber and plastic products and basic metal products have shown remarkable increases. Meanwhile, manufacture of basic pharmaceutical products has seen a decrease during this period. The Department of Census and Statistics added that the industrial production of the manufacturing sector for the fourth quarter of 2017 has increased by 4.1% compared to the same quarter in 2016. Now moving on to oil prices, they dropped 10% this week, falling below the $60 mark. $60 a barrel for the first time this year. Record US oil production is raising crude inventories, oil that's pumped out of the ground but hasn't been sold. Investors worry that demand won't keep pace with the increased supply. The stock market's volatile week has also pressured prices because investors pulled money out of stocks and took safe haven in the dollar. Booming US oil production and OPEC cuts had led to a fragile recovery in the oil prices over the past 2 years.
You are watching Sri Lanka's award-winning news channel, Other Derana 24/7.
Now it's time to look at news from around the world. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country will defend itself against any attack after it carried out what have been called its largest strikes against sites in Syria in decades. Israel launched raids against Iranian targets after saying it had intercepted an Iranian drone crossing the Syria-Israel border.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said yesterday that Israel would do whatever was necessary to protect its sovereignty and security after anti-aircraft fire downed an Israeli warplane returning from a bombing raid on Iran-backed positions in Syria early in the day. In a video statement, Netanyahu said he held Iran and Syria responsible for the day's aggression.
This morning, Iran brazenly violated Israel's sovereignty. They dispatched an Iranian drone from Syrian territory into Israel, and this demonstrates that our warnings were 100% correct. Israel holds Iran and its Syrian host responsible for today's aggression. We will continue to do whatever is necessary to protect our sovereignty and our security.
Meanwhile, the Russian passenger plane has crashed after leaving Moscow's Domodedovo airport with 71 people on board. The Saratov Airlines AN-148 jet was en route to the city of Osk in the Ural Mountains near Russia's border with Kazakhstan when it went down. Officials told Russian media that all those on board are thought to have died. The jet vanished minutes after takeoff and reportedly crashed in the town of Agunovo, about 80 kilometers southeast of Moscow.
Let's now take a look at some of the emerging stories from across the world.
More than 200 rescuers worked overnight in Hong Kong as the death toll of a double-decker bus flipover rose to 19 last night. The deadly traffic accident happened in New Territories in Hong Kong's Special Administrative Region after a bus lost control and toppled on Tai Po Road. Local police said 65 others were injured, with 9 in critical condition. Britain's Foreign Minister Boris Johnson met with Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi today in the country's capital of Naypyidaw. Johnson said earlier he would raise the case of 2 Reuters journalists detained in Myanmar with Aung San Suu Kyi, referring to a report they authored on violence against minority Rohingya Muslims. The world's largest mass human migration continued today as tens of thousands of people flocked to Beijing's main train station to catch a train back home and celebrate Lunar New Year. The biggest celebration in China this year will get underway on the 15th of February, the eve of the Year of the Dog.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel, Other Derana 24/7.
Time for sports, and we start off with cricket. Sri Lanka's left-arm spinner Rangana Herat says that although the Mirpur pitch was bowler-friendly, the victory in the second test against Bangladesh can also be attributed to the hard work and dedication shown by the players as well as the coaching staff. He stated this following the second test win yesterday.
Sri Lanka comprehensively beat Bangladesh in the second test by a whopping 215 runs yesterday, thereby sealing a 1-0 series win. The victory was especially meaningful to Herat as he broke Pakistan legend Wasim Akram's record for the highest number of wickets taken in tests by left-arm bowler. Following the win yesterday, Rangana Herat had this to say.
I comfortably can say that this victory was a result of the hard work put in by our players, especially the bowlers and the fast bowlers also like Suranga Lakmal, and the credit should also go to the coaching staff as well. The Chittagong pitch was not good for bowlers, but the Mirpur pitch was especially good for spinners. After the first match ended in a draw, we went back and prepared our minds to have a good match in the second test. Even the credit of my personal achievement of becoming the world's highest left-arm test wicket taker with 415 wickets can be attributed to a team effort.
Now moving on to the Winter Olympics, USA's Redmond Gerard claimed America's first gold medal in the Pyeongchang Winter Games today with his victory in the snowboarding slopestyle competition. Gerard scored a run of 87.16 to hold off Canadian Max Parrott and Mark McMorris, who finished second and third.
The 17-year-old Redmond Gerard, the youngest in the competition, landed a perfect backside triple cork 1440 on his final run, and despite Max Parrott landing the same trick on the final run of the day, the judges favoured the American. Sochi Games silver medalist Tal Sandbeck was fourth, with teenage sensation Marcus Cleveland finishing on sixth. Meanwhile, about 1,000 of South Korean protesters burned a unified peninsula flag, which was used by North and South Korean athletes when they marched together at the opening ceremony at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics.
Let's now cross over to Chanela Fernando at the other Derana Weather Centre with your forecast first evening edition.
Good evening and welcome to Forecast First. Tomorrow will relatively be rather humid day in some parts of the island, with temperatures ranging between 18 and 32 degrees Celsius, with the lowest expected in the central hills. Well, looking at the map, a low pressure zone will form from the eastern region of the island and will gradually move towards the western province. Some parts of the north, including Jaffna and Mannar, will experience a sunny weather, but many areas of the island, including Colombo, Galle, Matara, Kandy and Negombo, as well as Hambantota, will experience showers and thunder showers. That's all we have from the Weather Centre tonight. Up next is your City by City forecast.
And that's it from all of us here at First 9. But before we go, we'd like to take you to Brazil's Rio de Janeiro, where Carnival Mania swept through the city's famed samba schools, parading through the specially built Sambadrome in a dazzling display of revelry. The Sambadrome is the venue for a competition judged on elements such as choreography, atmosphere, organisation and singing. Rio de Janeiro's carnival officially began the day before yesterday and lasts until the 17th of February. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bringing you the news and information 24 hours a day. This is Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Other Derana 24/7.